Hi, good morning. My name is Ximo Rosell. I'm a teacher in Bernat Guinovart High School, and this is going to be a video tutorial for the Erasmus Plus project Robintech. In this video tutorial, we are going to get started with EPLAN Electrical P8. We will be using the version 2025, the education version. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we are going to start the software EPLAN. Okay, this is the way it looks like. As you can see, we don't have anything yet because this is the first project we're gonna do. And here in the top part we have this ribbon where we can see the different menus that we will need in while using the software. Okay, we will not cover all of them, but just the ones that we will need to draw our first schematic. The program, the schematic we are going to draw, it's a simple direct online circuit where we will start a motor with some push buttons, with the start push button, stop, and emergency stop. Okay, so this is the way it will look like when we are done. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is we click on File, and here we click New. Here we will write the name of our project. First, Robintech tutorial, and here storage location we will leave it the way it is, and here in basic project we will choose the basic project IES Bus 001. Okay, this is a template which is quite easy to use, and this is the best option for starting creating project. So here in the name I write my name and we click in OK. Okay, and then it will create the project. Just to let you know that maybe the first time you start the software you will get a window like this one. In here you have to write your ID, your EPLAN ID. Okay, so it's mandatory that before using the program you create you create an ID and you will get the password. Okay, I recommend you to check this box here so you don't have to enter your ID and your password anytime you open the software. Okay, so here we have these categories window, and in here we're going to write a few fields. And the ones we're going to change is this one. In here we will write, for example, first Robintech project. In commission I like to write the name of the subject, so this will be integrating systems. And company name, we'll write our school's name. In my case it's going to be IES Bernat Guinovart. Here we write the address, Joanna Fuster. This is something that we don't have to do necessarily, but it will help so our title page and our boxes have the information that we want. Okay, so I keep adding my address, and here in short name I'm gonna write XR for Ximo Rosell, and here I write my name. Okay, as you can see we are entering the same information in many different places, but that's okay. Fuster, and finally HMSC. Here in the bottom part we are going to write our country, and you can add your phone number. Again, this is not mandatory, but I suggest you to do it. Okay. Okay, so this is the way EPLAN looks. Here in the left part we have our page navigator. Okay, we can show it or hide it by clicking here. The same with the graphical preview. We show it and hide it clicking here. And I recommend you that here in the top part, when you can read filter, the best thing you can do is have it not activated. Okay, because sometimes if you choose one of these, you will some pages will get hide and you won't be able to find them. Okay, so we're gonna leave it that way. We click in this small arrow and the tree will open. In this kind of project we get this structure. Okay, we are not going to cover it by now, so far we're gonna leave it that way. If we double click here in title page, we will get our title page with all the information that we have been entering in the previous part. Okay, to navigate in the page with the mouse wheel, we zoom in and zoom out, and then we click and hold the wheel, the mouse wheel, we can drag and move the page. Okay. Now we're gonna click here in title page and we are going to enter our first page. So we click here and we have two options. We either click here in new page or right click and new. We'll get the same result. Okay, so here in full page name we are going to enter a number. Okay, I like to number the pages by tens. Okay, so the first one will be 10, the second one will be 20. So that way, if we have to add a page after creating the project, it will be easier because we can use the remaining numbers. We can use 11, 12, 13, okay? And we don't have to use 0.1 or 0.8 or something like that, okay? So I recommend you to use the tens. Here in page type, we will choose schematic multi-line, and here in page description we are going to write the name of the page we want to enter. In this case is going to be power supply. We click OK, and sometimes you will get this, which is the dictionary. That way, if we change the language of the project, it will automatically change the descriptions we use. So for example, we have English, we have Spanish, we have Dutch, we have Polish here, and I guess we have Finnish too, or maybe Estonian, I don't know. We have to check that. Okay, so far we're gonna use English, and we click OK and OK, and this is our first page. Okay, here in the bottom part we have the plot frame with all the information that we entered before again. And to start with the project, I'm going to open here the sample project. We can see that the first thing we have to add is this potential contacts. Okay, this would represent more or less this. Okay, so our power source in the wall, the socket, whatever we are going to connect our cabinet. Okay, so to enter that, we click here in insert and we go to connection and we choose potential connection point. We zoom in, and now as you can see we have a circle and a short line. The short line indicates the way the current will flow. So by pressing tab we rotate it, okay, and we just have to point rightwards, okay, like this. We click, we enter it, and here we write the name of the potential. In this case will be L1. Here L2, L3, neutral, and finally Earth. Okay, I forgot to say this, but here in the bottom part we have the grid. Okay, by clicking here we activate and deactivate the grid, and if we click the arrow we can get different kind of grids, okay, with more or less points. Okay, the one I recommend you to use is C, okay, grid C, and activate it. Okay, let's continue with this, and if we open the sample again, in EPLAN projects usually are more than one page long, so we have these interruption points, which mean that the circuit continues in a different page. Okay, so this is the second thing we're going to add. So we go to insert, we click here in the arrow, and the interruption points are here. And now we just place them in the same line as the potential points we added before, and we click and hold and drag, and it automatically inserts all the connection lines. Okay, we're gonna leave it this way by now, and the next thing we're going to add is our circuit breaker. Okay, so now all the devices, symbols, and anything we want to add except these two that we just added, they are going to be here on the right part of the software. Okay, I like to unpin it. Okay, so the drawing area is bigger, but you don't have to do that. I like to do it, and then when I place my mouse here on top, it opens. Now we're going to add a symbol. We will get different options. We will choose IEC symbol, and we will go to electrical engineering, and we are going to add a protection device. In this case, a circuit breaker is going to be a quadruple circuit breaker, and we will choose this one. So we click and drag, and now we can place it wherever we want. I'm gonna place it here. By clicking tab, we rotate it, and I'm going to rotate it until the contact faces up. And now, anytime we enter a symbol, it will get a DT, a device tag. Okay, this is a unique device tag. This is unique for any symbol we enter. Okay, and EPLAN will propose a label, a name. In this case, it's F1. We're gonna keep it, and we can change the way it labels the devices. I will show it just right away, but so far we're gonna leave it that way. Here in technical characteristics, we can write the technical characteristics of the device we're going to enter. In this case, I'm gonna write 16 amps. And okay, and here we have the circuit breaker. Okay, next we're going to draw is this breaker and this power supply. So I'm going to add the breaker first. So we go here. Now it's a double circuit breaker. I'm gonna choose this one. We drag it here. This will be F2, and this is going to be 10 amps, just for example. And to connect these lines with the breaker, we come here to the insert menu, and here we have the T node. Okay, let me show it. T node, we choose it, and now we will choose one of the lines. Hold on. Here, and now neutral. Okay, And now I'm going to place the power supply. So we go back here and we choose a converted transformer and rectifier. This is going to be a rectifier, and we're going to choose this one here. We place it. We just leave the name it has, and this is going to be a 60 watts power supply. And now again we are going to enter a couple of interruption points. So one is going to be here, more or less, and now we have to label it. Okay, so in this case this is going to be 24 volts DC, and the next one will be 0 volts DC. Okay, and now I just have to connect the power supply with the interruption points. So I choose it from here, some symbols, and I connect it. Okay, now the next thing we're gonna do is we have to label these interruption points. Okay, so these interruption points, since it is line 1, this will be line 1, line 2, line 3, neutral, and earth. Okay, and we finally will just add some terminals here. Okay, so it represents that we are going to connect to the our cabinet. Okay, so we click on terminal, we will choose terminal with saddle jumper to connect some points, and we will choose this one, X2/2. Okay, so we click and drag, and again this line, the line it has, the symbol has, represents the inner part of our cabinet. Okay, so I'm going to tab, rotate it by clicking tab, and I'm inserting it, and this is going to be X1. Okay, all terminals are X1 1. This will be again X1 2, X1 3. I hope you can see it. I'm gonna zoom. X1 4, and finally X1 5. Okay, so X1 will be the first terminal block. Okay, and each of the terminals we have a number. Okay, so this will be X11, X12, X13, X14, X15, and so on. Okay, let's zoom out. Okay, and now we already have this first page completed. How do we save the project? To save the project, we have to do nothing. Okay, we have to do nothing. It will save automatically by itself. Okay, anyway, if we click here in file, we have the option of doing a backup. Okay, in case we want to export it or we want to send it to a colleague, we would click here in backup and we would choose where we want to save it. Okay, so in this case we would just choose the backup directory, whatever we want, and then we choose the folder and we can backup it. Okay, this is the only way of sending the projects in EPLAN. Okay, another thing that you should know is that if we want to close this project, we click here in file and we click close. Okay, that way the project closed and we have nothing here. And to open it again, we click in file, and in open we have the latest projects that we have been using. Okay, so in my case, I will open Robintech tutorial, or we could browse and choose the project we want to open. Okay, so we double click it, and now we have the project we were working at. Okay, this is going to be all for this tutorial. Okay, in the next tutorial, we will add the other pages, the power page and the control page. Okay, see you in the next video. Bye.